Okay, this is Business Morning. We're coming to you live from Channels Television, broadcasting from Lagos. I am Bolaji Akinwale. It's now time to look into what business development is all about and how that can help your business to grow. Of course, the dream of every business owner is to excel in whatever venture he or she is into. And how do you achieve that? What are those strategies? What are those things you need to know and to do, not just to know them, but you need to do them to be able to achieve the required success. Edward Asene is the CEO at Kinetics Associates. He is my immediate left, and to my far left is Joel Osebo. He is the CEO of Connage Enterprise Solutions Limited, and both men are business development experts. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you, Bolaji. And good morning, Edward.
Good morning. Happy holiday. How does it feel to bring you out of your bed so early? Well, others are relaxing, resting, sleeping.
Well, I know I've been thinking about my salami, and I'm certainly missing the continuation of it. And so we also want to use this opportunity to wish our Muslim brothers a happy celebration, and we pray that all that they desire comes to pass.
All right.
So coming up this morning was a bit
very odd. Quite odd, because the road is actually free. There's no traffic, and so you're able to get here on time. That's very good. We have to wake up very early. But work actually resumes tomorrow, so we are getting back.
Yeah, so this is a nice groove to prepare ahead of tomorrow.
Of getting back to work tomorrow.
That's fine.
Okay, now to the business of the day, which is business development.
Okay.
We always talk about the issue of business development because every organization, whether small scale, whether medium scale, or even large scale, the large corporates, multinationals, all need to develop the business model to see how they can expand their operations. But let's start from the small before we get to the big.
Okay.
Edward, when we talk about business development, what comes across to you?
Business development, as it is, it has evolved. But from where we are now, business development is very, very elaborate. It comprises of 4 dimensions. There is the popular side to the business development that almost everybody know about, which is marketing and sales. So somebody starts a business, recruits staff, and they say you are the business development executive, or you are the business development officer, or you are the business development manager. And if you drill down to the job description of that person, a good chunk of what you're asking that person to do is to go look for business development. So everything is around marketing and sales, which is also very good for you to grow your business. Then again, there's another dimension to business development, which is also customer service. There's another dimension to business development. Those two are the lower cadre, but at the full spectrum of business development, there's the research angle, there's also the product development angle. So if you bring all of those 4 quadrants together, research, product development, marketing and sales, and customer service, you're talking about business.
We're all going to break all of this down in the course of this discussion. Let me hear from Joe.
Okay, like what Edward said, if you look at those functions he mentioned, marketing, sales, customer service, product development, I want to put them in one word, maybe 2 words, tax and processes. You may want to also add like accounting. You may want to also add like operations. You know, business development has to do with all of the tasks and processes that helps you to grow your business. Though most times, like he said, it's warehoused by a certain function you want to call the business development unit or the business development group. But the truth is, everything you do in an organization to ensure its continuous growth and sustainability is what the long chain of business development is all about. But you just have, even Nigeria, we're doing it, I was just thinking about it, and I found out that somehow Nigeria does business development. It's not just about organization, it's not just about a single entrepreneur. If you look at all the economic activities we do at the macro level and at the micro level, you find out that there's a strong touch of business development. So from when you're thinking about your business idea to when you exchange the first cash through value you offer to customers, business development is involved in all of this.
Okay, Edward, what would you say is the starting point for someone who's established a business or an organization and want to just put something together as one of the methods, or shall I say strategies, to develop the business that he or she is doing, what would you describe as the starting point?
The starting point in business development is always for you to identify a need, a gap. That's the starting point, because again, if there is no need to be met, if there is no value to be provided, then there is no point for you to be in the business, for instance. So every product or service is being developed to meet a need, to solve a problem. So rule one in business development is identify a need. Then when you've identified a need, then develop a product or a service to solve that problem. Then you can now go all of the business incubation process. Okay, register a company, take your product to the marketplace, sell, approach the people that you think, what we call the target audience now, need that product or service in exchange for money. So again, the initiation point, the starting point of business development is for you to identify a need, whether it's a media station like channels, whether it's a film production company or a newspaper or a consulting firm or a product, whatever it is. All of this came into existence, started the business development chain by identifying a need, a gap in the market.
How do you identify a need, Joe? Because it sounds so easy to say, okay, I'm going to look for a need. How does it, in an environment that you are, maybe you're a small scale farmer, for instance, how do you identify, what is the process like?
All right, it comes in different facets. The first thing to identify a need first, it comes from you need to be very conscious of your environment, what is happening in the environment. Like one of the greatest challenges we have in Nigeria today is what? Security. We're trying to solve security, but I find it's not even a Nigerian issue now. It has become a global issue. So there's a great need for individuals who can bring out creative and innovative solutions to this. So you identify a need from problems. You know, sometimes people always want to run away from problems. But we have a friend that says, man, instead of running away from problems, he runs to the problems. He runs towards them, because as you run towards those problems and you open up your creative thought process, you're able to see what the challenges are and how you can profile solutions to those problems. Another thing can come from your intuition, from within you. I mean, every one of us, we had a childhood dream. Okay, being a doctor is not just, I want to be a doctor. There's something you want to solve from being a doctor, because you need to look at the career path as a doctor.
Not
what does
just
a doctor
wide
do?
Picture,
Yeah.
or there's a specific thing that
Exactly, that you want to
do.
really do. Then sometimes you may not be the type that can generate ideas. You may like what somebody else is doing.
Yeah.
Like Edward and I were involved in consulting and business development services. Bolaji said, I like what you guys are doing. Can I be part of it? Because we already have identified the needs of small and medium scale businesses to provide solutions to, and you like what we are doing, you want to be part of it, you now align with us. That we talk about, you want to align, strategic alliance with other people to provide solutions there. So we basically identify a need comes from human problems. It can come from processes. Sometimes you go to a bank and you see the very long queue. There's just something inside of you. I don't like this queue. I think I can provide
something better.
So
something
it's about
faster.
problems. It's about seeing problems and you wanting to get people to make life. You're trying to provide solutions that will make life easier and better for people.
Okay, Edward. Now, what kind of products or services, or rather, how do you generate the demand for it? Because if I walk into a banking hall, I'm a customer and I just want to pay in some money, or I want to withdraw, as the case may be, and I don't like the long queues that I see in the bank. How do I go about generating demand for the service that I think the bank would want? Edward.
After identifying the idea and the need, the next thing is for you to package it, brand development, all of those things.
So
that
branding
it's sellable.
comes in.
Branding comes, but immediately after branding, we have a couple of things. But something that is also very key is selling, which is where what a lot of business people, SME, understand as business development. But we've been able to set the other block. But it's not, business development is not just buying and selling. So but again, sales is critical. So again, now the guy has identified a problem in the bank and the queue is too much and is having an idea, oh, I can't, make this thing almost vanish. Oh, let's do an ATM. Don't let them come into the banking. But again, the queue again resurfaced at the ATM. So what do we do again? Let's take them online. Let's take them somewhere. Do you understand? So again, it's just that keeping on thinking and reinventing.
Thinking.
Now again, the question is, now you have identified the need, you've developed the product. How do you sell it? How do you connect it with who is supposed to need the solution? Everything starts from all of that is marketing, but it starts from prospecting. You know, people complain too much that they are not making sales. And if you look at one of the fundamental factor is the fact that they are not prospecting enough. Prospecting is just being conscious about how you get visibility online, offline, everywhere. Being conscious and deliberate. Every medium, every channel, every program, this is who I am, this is what I do, because all of that will generate leads for you, that will generate prospects for you, that will generate client for you. So you have to get your phone lines busy, keep the inquiries coming in. You know, so again, I want to talk to the MD of the bank. I don't have his access. I'm not a member of this club, that polo club. This, but again, you can just leverage on this contact, this uncle, family, friend, somebody put in. So what I'm saying is, whatever you've come up with, we have to be deliberate with prospecting.
Let me just add some thought line there. You know, when you look at, like the last time we talked about business model, and one of the 9 building block of every business is customer segment. Yes. You know, that particular customer is complaining because he wants perhaps a specialized service. He doesn't want to be part of the queue, and he's trying to create a community of people like him. But the truth is, most banks, they've actually gone ahead. They identify that there are different needs that needs to be met for different customers. That's why I find there are some customers, I really want to belong to that class. Edo, I don't know if you want to. I mean, you just go into the you go to the bank and you're getting, I mean, Dangote can get into the bank and wants to be on the
service,
queue. I mean, I'm sure the bank MD will come downstairs to attend to him.
He can't be on the queue.
There's this segmentation people do. Is either you're looking at the mass market, you're looking at the niche market, you are segmenting the market. So you look at your different customers and you'll be able to classify them. That's why banks will always come up with different products targeted at different persons in the market. So it's about identifying each of these spectrum of customers and developing the product that meet them. A lot of us don't like to stay on the queue. I don't want to stay on the queue. I'm very busy. We have a lot of young men that they're busy. So, and the banks have, I think they are very proactive, and that's what we expect. When it comes to business development, every organization and entrepreneur should be very proactive. How do I provide how do I position my product, my service in a way that we meet my target market? So customer, we're very impatient. It will take away that impatience or that dissatisfaction they get when our product and service don't meet their need.